Hello and welcome again to European Autocraft Studios. It's kind of a shop maintenance kind of day. We just want to update you on a few things, and then we're going to finish putting the motor in our wet blasting machine. It's been a long road, but you may see it work today. Wouldn't that be cool? But another update on this Lambo. We did a bunch of work on this car, some maintenances and some other work. It came back because the top was down and a pouring rain, quite by accident. So it took out some of the electronics, and we have now a new control module for the air conditioning. But let's take a quick look and see. It's not so bad. You know, the console, the console and the electronics have to come apart. We have a little bench with all the circuit boards apart because you don't buy the whole assembly, you buy just a circuit board and bolt it up underneath. So we couldn't get a new one, but we got a good used one thanks to Exotic Auto Recycling out in California. Great quick shipping, reasonably priced for Lambo, so that was pretty good. A little ATV here, a friend of a friend. I promised him I'd fix it for his son. They just bought it. Made in China, and it's got issues right out of the box. So we're going to try to get it running right for him and fix it up. 911, our flood car that you've seen, the wiring is all good, electronics are good. We had mentioned, I think, I don't know if we mentioned this or not, but we had water entry through the exhaust up into cylinder number 5. So with the new engine, new transmission control module, and all the other electronics that we replaced that were in the floor that got wet, we can't program the transmission control module until there are no faults in the engine ECU. We had a misfire in cylinder number 5 because salt water went in, found its way right up into cylinder number 5, and chewed away the inside of the cylinder, so there was a big hole in it. And that definitely makes no compression. Not necessarily a hole, but it just etched away the coating and left a pit. So that's the old engine. That one's going to be for sale. We have a video that we made with that engine running, and it sounds good, but it's just missing one cylinder. So that engine will be for sale to help compensate the payout on this car that the customer had to endure. So the new engine is in already. Used engine from Germany, 3.8 liter. Couldn't find one in the States, but it was well worth it to get it shipped here from Germany. We'll update you on that as time goes. Let me show you the drive shaft. This drive shaft was, this is the front differential. The drive shaft has to be slid forward to unbolt it from the front of the front of the PDK unit, automatic transmission PDK unit. And this thing, because of the salt water, was rusted into this, and it would not move. This just goes inside of the front differential and connects the all-wheel drive to the front. It works really nice now. We got a new boot for it, and cleaned up all the pitting and the rust. It was bad. It took a lot to get this out. I had to make a jig to actually extract this out and drag it out of the splines. So we were tempted to just replace it, but we were able to save it. So that's what's going on here. Soon, Monday, this is Saturday, Monday, we're going to replenish the fluids here. There was no salt water in the fluids at all. No intrusion of salt water anywhere on this unit, just in that coupling. So that's an update on the water-damaged Hurricane Ian? Hurricane Ian. That flooded everything over here. So it was a mess. Not us, but all of Naples except us, which was nice. So there you go. 3.8 liter, great running engine except for cylinder number 5, but it has to be completely disassembled. So that's the update in the shop. For the most part, we got parts coming for the Renault. Engine's almost done for the MG. Then the transmission's already rebuilt. That'll go in, and that'll go in the MG. Corvette's still apart, waiting for parts. And now, back to my nemesis. This machine I purchased from China. It had a 4 horsepower electric motor on it. Very thin wire, like 14 gauge wire going to the motor. And I didn't think that was enough, but we changed it over. This is now a 5 horsepower motor. We have a short run of 10 gauge, which should be just fine. A short run up to the controller that will turn this motor on. This is a 5 horsepower Baldor made in the USA. Therefore, nothing fit. Of course, why would it? So my machine shop guy there, Jim Weber from Jim Weber Restorations, he comes around, he helps me with all kinds of little projects, disassembling little chrome pieces for inside that Mercedes we're restoring. He had to get the pins out of the little butterflies, and I don't know, I would have broken them taking them out. So he did a great job getting those apart. He also bored the shaft for me here, and made the platform work for this motor, and everything is all installed. I just have to do some wiring, connect it all up, and then we get to test it. So 5 horsepower, that should take care of whatever we need. So this has to rotate clockwise because of the pump impeller. So I've got this mess here, and I'm gonna try to figure out what's what. So yeah, it's in English, I think, as far as I can tell. So let's see what happens when we connect power to it. So we know L1 and L2, opposite rotation. See, standard rotation is counterclockwise. So we want opposite rotation from this end, which is clockwise. That should work. I'll have to do a quick test to make sure I get it right, but let's see. This little box of nuts. Let's see, L1 and L2, and then we have these wires will give me the rotation. I have to mix and match those, but we'll see what happens. I already have the ground wire attached. I have to take the circuit breaker out. So let's do... I wish you were here to see the smoke come out of the other motor. That was kind of exciting, but I'm going to leave the box open for now. I also have up top, isn't exactly finished yet. This is just for testing. Okay, L1, L2, that's just our 220 in. And then we have to read the hieroglyphics on these, if I can read them. Orange one for these little guys. This one, eventually I'll cut it and just roll it up in there, but my luck, I have the wrong one. It's too big. So I'll just put a cap on that for now. All right. So that's that. I'll get this tucked in and wired after. Let me finish. What do we need to connect? Let me connect the output line. This is not exactly high quality here. All right, now this is a closed loop system. So we fill the machine with water. Oh yeah, I have to finish that too. Look at this. This was not one of our modifications. This is how it came. This is what the water sits on top of the pump here. There's no sediment in here, just the just water from the top layer of the media. And this is what they did. This is how I got it. They just ground this down to put this hose on. Not good. I don't know if they sent me a prototype machine or what, but I really wish it had a little more quality here. So let's get this put on. Once it's working, I can make modifications and make this machine a little better. There's a company in, I think it's northern Florida or not too far from here, called Vapor Home. They have some really high quality machines, but I really couldn't afford one at that time. So I bought this one out of China. So I don't know what the best choice could have been. This is a plastic pass-through bushing. This is where the water will come out and circulate through this machine. There's no filter on the output, but there should be. I'll probably I'll use pool filter. That way the water going back into the machine will be cleaned and free of sediment. This divides the water up when it comes in, so most of the sediment stays here and the water flows over to the next chamber. And then it's sucked up from here with this diaphragm pump, pumped into the base. Remember, I didn't have that hooked up before and I killed the pump, at least I think I did. And that keeps the slurry fluid so it can move through the pump and up into the nozzle. This is our rinsing port, but I don't have it connected because I wanted to run this first. Once it's up and running, I'll make all the hoses work and I'll tidy up this mess and make a real nice machine out of it. So right now I'm going to move this into place, connect the two hoses to the diaphragm pump and the discharge back. I have to put it in a certain way because I need a 90 degree for that. So I can put this in the corner here and the water will spill in from here and over rather than straight in. I couldn't find one right away. I think I'll probably get these in brass and I'll get a 90 for it, make it a little nicer. Okay, so let's move some stuff around and we'll be right back. All right, now water. This isn't hooked up yet. This is for rinsing. That'll be hooked up when we really get going here. My first test was the 911 fan housing. I think we got about 10 seconds or less before the motor let the smoke out. So if you see inside here, you can see the two ports. Put some light on it here. The breaker is off. Okay, right. All right, now you can see a little more. The one on the end is that's the water that goes back to the recirculation tank. So it's above the water line. It's at the water line above the second one. That's the one that feeds the top of the pump and keeps it from sucking air. And then the main one sucks out of the bottom of the tube you saw underneath the slurry pump. So I'm sure we have leaks. Why not? We did have a leak, a drip at that little water line that comes down and stirs up the slurry underneath, but I have to drain the whole tank again to fix it. It's just a small drip. I'll deal with it for now. Kind of frustrating, all these little problems. But once it's fixed, look at the size of it. I could fit engines in here. That's why I wanted a really large machine. Very expensive to buy one in here in the U.S. But when I'm rich and famous, I'll get the Vapor Home. Nice machine. We're getting there. This is what we're using for media. This is glass bead. It's round though, it's not crushed glass. It's actual glass bead. Very mild grit. This will polish up some surfaces for the aluminum and magnesium. So that just goes in. Now they'll settle to the bottom. So you can see the first port is covered, and the second port should be spilling over now into the I also added a touch of bleach to the water to keep it from growing any bacteria. They also sell other chemicals for that, but we'll look into that here soon. When this is set in place, the water level will be a lot higher. Right now, it's we can still move it around because the water level is not so high. All right, well, let's see what happens. So we're gonna need air. So we have to run the three-phase converter to start the compressor, to run the compressor, then open the valve to let the air in. Then we'll run the diaphragm pump that'll get the water flowing underneath the sand, and hopefully we'll have movement. Okay, the valve is open. We have system pressure now, and let's see, sandblasting pressure is around 90. Cleaning pressure, which is the diaphragm pump for the washer nozzle, washer hose here, and our windshield squirter. Okay, here's our windshield squirter. I'm not sure how much fluid to put in. There was no instruction manual, so I had some water going underneath, and the rest is going up to our little sprayer nozzle. All right, now, not sure what's going to happen. Oh, I don't know what direction the motor's running. Let's hope it's going the right direction. Okay, that's the wiper. This one is our motor. Why not? It didn't even hum, nothing.
A few moments later.
Okay, well, I forgot to push the button. This is the grinding pump, which is the slurry pump, and the discharge fan. We don't have a duct on it, but it's not going to blow anything out. It's just kind of the moisture in the air here that goes out. So, try that. Now, we have a vacuum inside. The gloves fill up nice. Yeah. Now let's see. My foot hits that. Okay. Now let's see what happens. This one. I don't know if that motor's running the right direction. So I'm going to have Mr. Cameraman step on the right pedal momentarily. Okay? All right? The motor's not turning at all. Okay. We have some more things to look at still, so we'll be right back. Okay, after a few little issues, first I forgot to turn the switch on for the pump. That took care of it, but the motor still didn't run. That extra wire that I said we'll do it later, well, that had to be connected. Had to be connected to this L2, I think it is. Anyways, it's all connected, it's working. We're messing with the pressures and the water feed to the bottom of the pump to get the right amount of media flow. I think we got it. I have a 944 turbo part that you'll probably recognize in there. We're going to try to see what it does with that, and then we'll adjust the water flow in to get the right mixture of media and water, so we don't bind up the machine and whatnot. Our system's working pretty well here. I got some stragglers from when it was new. Just pumping down, and the water's just going to fall down like a waterfall and leave the sediment in the back sections. So let's see what happens now. You probably recognize this. It's the motor mount that the turbocharger sits on. Looks pretty crusty, so hopefully we can make it clean. If not now, we'll get the adjustments right eventually. So let's see what happens. Okay. Pump on. Diaphragm pump on. Look at this. Isn't that cute? Alright. Let's see what happens. Let's see. I'm looking for better results. We may have to use a different media. Try a little more. Let's take a look. Well, not too bad for the first time. We're going to increase probably take some of the water flow away to get more of the media up through there. See, it took a little bit of time to do that. The one machine I used before was very quick. So, a few more adjustments. I'm done with you. Wow. A few more adjustments with the machine, I think we'll have it. So you'll see us getting some parts cleaned up later on in the episodes as we move along. A lot more stuff to do, but yeah, not too bad for all we went through. Millions of dollars, a lot of headaches, but it's now running and working. A few tweaks, we'll have it all set up, and we'll show you what we're doing with it. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We need all the subscribers we can get, and post some comments. Thanks.